Many adults over 60 believe fruit is one of the few foods they never have to question. It is widely labeled as natural, safe, and always beneficial. Doctors mention it. Diet books praise it. Health magazines recommend it. And for many years, that belief was largely true. Fruit provides vitamins, antioxidants, and energy that support overall health. But here is the part most seniors are never told. As the body ages, the way it responds to the same foods begins to change. That does not mean fruit suddenly becomes bad. It means the body processes sugar, acids, and fiber differently than it did in earlier decades. What once felt supportive can quietly become harder to handle when eaten the same way as before. After 60, insulin sensitivity often declines. Digestive enzymes work more slowly. The stomach lining becomes more sensitive. The liver and kidneys take longer to process certain compounds. At the same time, many adults begin using daily medications that were not part of their routine earlier in life. All of these changes are normal parts of aging, but together they mean that food choices now interact with the body in more complex ways. The risk is rarely dramatic. It does not usually show up as a sudden illness. Instead, it appears gradually. Mild brain fog that feels easy to dismiss. Energy crashes in the afternoon. Digestive discomfort that comes and goes. Joint stiffness that seems like normal aging. Subtle blood sugar changes that go unnoticed for years. Because these signs develop slowly, many people never connect them to daily eating habits. This is where confusion begins. Seniors may feel they are doing everything right while still feeling weaker, more tired, or less clear than they expect. The problem is not that fruit is harmful. The problem is that the same habits from earlier life may no longer fit the needs of an aging body. This video is not about fear or restriction. It is about awareness. Fruit is not good or bad on its own. Its impact depends on portion size, timing, digestion, and individual health context. When those factors are ignored, even healthy foods can quietly add stress. When they are understood, food becomes a powerful tool for support. Healthy aging is not about giving things up. It is about adapting. When fruit choices match the realities of an older metabolism and lifestyle, they can continue to support energy, clarity, and long-term well-being instead of working against it. Once the importance of awareness is clear, it becomes easier to understand why certain fruits deserve closer attention after 60. This is not because they are inherently bad, but because they are often misunderstood. These fruits are culturally familiar, widely promoted as healthy and commonly eaten without a second thought. That is exactly what makes them risky for older adults when eaten daily or in large amounts. Let us begin with grapes. Grapes look harmless. They are small, refreshing, and easy to snack on. Many people assume a handful here and there does not matter. The issue is how the body handles them later in life. Grapes contain a relatively high amount of natural sugar but very little fiber to slow absorption. For younger bodies, this is often manageable. After 60, insulin response is less efficient. And sugar enters the bloodstream more quickly. This can lead to rapid rises and falls in blood sugar, followed by fatigue, shakiness, and stronger cravings. Over time, repeated spikes may quietly interfere with energy balance and metabolic stability. This does not mean grapes must be avoided completely. It means portion size and frequency matter far more now than they once did. Next is pineapple. Pineapple is often marketed as a digestion-friendly fruit because it contains natural enzymes. What is rarely discussed is that pineapple is also quite acidic and can be harsh on sensitive digestive systems. As we age, the protective lining of the stomach naturally becomes thinner. Acidic foods may be more irritating than they were before. In addition, pineapple contains natural sugars that are absorbed quickly, especially when eaten alone. Now, for some seniors, this combination may contribute to digestive discomfort, reflux, or energy crashes when consumed frequently. The fruit itself is not the problem. The problem is assuming it behaves the same way in an older body as it did decades earlier. Oranges are another example of a fruit with a strong, healthy reputation. They are closely associated with vitamin C and immunity. However, daily consumption may not suit everyone over 60. Oranges are acidic, which can contribute to tooth sensitivity as enamel naturally thins with age. Some individuals also notice increased joint discomfort or digestive irritation after frequent citrus intake. Additionally, compounds in citrus fruits are known to interact with how the body processes certain substances. For seniors managing multiple prescriptions, timing and moderation become more important. What feels like a simple breakfast habit can quietly affect balance over time. Finally, there are bananas. Bananas are often recommended for energy and potassium. The challenge is that ripe bananas are digested quickly and can raise blood sugar more than many people expect. After 60, this can contribute to afternoon fatigue rather than sustained energy. Less ripe bananas contain compounds that may slow digestion, which can worsen constipation in individuals already dealing with slower gut movement. When bananas become a daily staple, they may also crowd out fruits that provide more antioxidants and fiber. The pattern across all 4 fruits is consistent. These foods are not dangerous by default. They become problematic when age-related changes are ignored. Seniors are different not because they are weaker, but because their bodies require more intention. Understanding this difference is the first step toward restoring balance rather than quietly losing it. As these patterns begin to emerge, an important question naturally follows. How do we know which information to trust when it comes to food and aging? This is where evidence and real-life experience work together. Throughout this discussion, you may notice references to long-term studies, published research, and measurable outcomes like blood sugar trends or inflammation markers. These details matter, especially for older adults who want clarity rather than opinions. Research helps explain why certain fruits affect seniors differently. Large population studies often track thousands of adults over many years, comparing dietary habits with changes in energy, metabolism, and overall health. When patterns repeat across time and groups, they offer useful insight. At the same time, numbers alone can feel distant, as that is why real-life stories are equally important. Many seniors share similar experiences. A person in their late 60s who eats fruit daily with the intention of staying healthy, but begins noticing brain fog in the afternoon. Someone in their early 70s who feels unexplained fatigue, digestive discomfort, or gradual weight gain despite a clean diet. These changes are often subtle, which is why they are easy to overlook. When small dietary adjustments are made, some people report steadier energy, improved digestion, or fewer discomforts over time. These stories do not replace medical advice, but they help make the science relatable. You may also hear terms like blood sugar response, medication metabolism, or digestive sensitivity. These concepts can sound technical, but the ideas behind them are simple. As the body ages, timing and balance become more important. Foods that digest quickly may affect energy differently than expected. Certain compounds may influence how the body processes other substances. None of this means seniors need to be fearful of food. It means food choices deserve a bit more intention. What matters most is not memorizing studies or numbers. It is paying attention to how your own body responds. Subtle signals like fatigue after eating, digestive discomfort, or changes in focus are not something to ignore or simply blame on age. They are feedback. When listened to early, they often guide better decisions without drastic changes. This is why awareness comes before action. Before making any adjustments, take a moment to reflect. Which fruits are you eating most days? How do you feel afterward? Do you notice energy dips, bloating, or discomfort that seems unrelated? These questions are not meant to create worry. They are meant to restore clarity. If this information is helping you look at your habits differently, consider sharing your experience in the comments. Many viewers learn just as much from each other as they do from the video itself. And if you find this discussion useful, liking the video or sharing it with someone over 60 can help others start paying attention sooner rather than later. After the section that highlights potential risks, the tone of the script deliberately shifts from concern to confidence. The message becomes clear that fruit itself is not the problem, and that the fruit basket does not need to be feared. When the right choices are made, certain fruits can actively support strength, memory, circulation, and long-term independence in later life. Instead of framing food as a threat, this part reframes it as a tool. 4 fruits are highlighted as especially supportive for older adults when eaten with intention. Pomegranate is presented as a fruit that supports natural cellular maintenance processes that tend to slow with age. Compounds found in pomegranate are often discussed for their role in helping the body recycle older cells more efficiently, which may support overall energy and circulation when included as part of a balanced diet. Blueberries are positioned as a strong ally for brain health. They contain plant compounds commonly associated with memory and focus, and they tend to have a gentler effect on blood sugar than many sweeter fruits. Additional benefits are often linked to eye health and steady energy, making them an easy daily option. Cherries are introduced as a fruit that may support comfort and rest. They are commonly associated with helping the body manage inflammation and are one of the few fruits that naturally contain small amounts of melatonin, which can be helpful for older adults who experience changes in sleep patterns. Avocados are described as especially valuable because they are low in sugar and rich in healthy fats. And these fats support nutrient absorption and align well with concerns many seniors have around heart health, brain function, vision, and metabolism. Their potassium content also supports balance without rapid energy swings. Importantly, the script does more than list benefits. It offers simple guidance on portions, timing, and preparation, such as choosing fresh or frozen options and pairing fruits with meals. This practical focus turns reassurance into action. By ending with clear daily habits, this hopeful segment eases earlier concerns and leaves viewers feeling empowered rather than restricted, setting up a satisfying and motivating conclusion. As everything comes together, the most important lesson becomes clear. Healthy aging is not about fear, restriction, or chasing perfection. It is about awareness, consistency, and learning to work with the body as it changes. Food does not suddenly turn against you after 60, but the way your body responds to food is no longer the same as it once was, and ignoring that reality can quietly cost you energy, comfort, and independence over time. Throughout this discussion, one pattern has appeared again and again. Small habits repeated daily matter far more than occasional extremes. Portion size matters. timing matters. How food interacts with digestion, blood sugar, and medications matters. When these factors are aligned, food supports the body. When they are ignored, even well-intentioned choices can quietly create imbalance. The goal is not to label foods as good or bad. It is to recognize signals and respond early. Brain fog, digestive discomfort, joint stiffness, sleep disruption, or unexplained fatigue are not things to automatically dismiss as normal aging. They are often feedback from the body asking for adjustment, not alarm. Listening to these signals early allows you to make small changes before larger problems develop. This is why sustainable routines matter more than dramatic diets. A small handful of the right fruit eaten at the right time can fit comfortably into daily life. Over weeks and months, consistency allows digestion to improve, energy to stabilize, and nutrients to be used more effectively. These benefits do not arrive overnight, but they compound quietly in the background, just like poor habits once did. Perhaps the most empowering message is this: aging does not mean loss of control. Seniors are not helpless passengers in the process of decline. Informed choices protect independence. Adapting habits is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you choose foods that work with your current physiology, you give your body the conditions it needs to stay resilient longer. If this video helped you think differently about your daily habits, take a moment to reflect on one small change you could make this week. You do not need to change everything at once. One adjustment is enough to start momentum. Feel free to share which fruits you eat most often or which insight stood out to you. Many viewers learn just as much from shared experiences as from the video itself. If you found this information useful, I consider liking the video or sharing it with someone over 60 who may benefit. Knowledge grows stronger when it is shared, and small awareness today can lead to stronger, more confident years ahead.